saying that Jesus Christ, in John chapter 20, verse 19, entered before his disciples and said to them, "Peace be with you. I therefore say the same. Assalamu alaikum, peace be with you." The topic, a world of terror, an Intra-Faith Dialogue crisis. I'm looking at terrorism as a situation where we describe it, that is a combination of acts that are done to create fear and apprehension, depending on the needs and scope of the designers. The world is looking for the best definition of terrorism, but this one will depend on the designers and the scope they want us to go through. The world has registered permanent homes of terrorists today, whose claim is that they are fighting for freedom, yet in the name of religion, as if this one is meaning that religion and violence are synonyms. The world is registering a number of terrorist groups. Some of these are those that have been mentioned here, and so many others that are missing here. But remember, every other day, so many groups are coming in. Al-Shabaab is now occupying a very big gap. I will mention some of you. Boko Haram is taking the lead somewhere. The Army of God started in the 1980s. Later on, you had someone in Connecticut killing the nursery children. Then the most recent of Orlando, where Umar Martin had to put down a gun after finishing over 50. Sudanese Liberation Army, where people started with the religion as a message. And today, something horrible is taking place there. The Janjaweed movement talk about the Islamic states. I'm talking about the Islamic states because these are now so many. They started with the Islamic State of Syria and Iraq. They went, whenever you put Islamic State, you can put there Libya. You can say Islamic State in Lebanon. There is Akim. We had the original Al-Qaeda. Now we have the Akim of Islamic Maghreb, that is Mali. We have the Akap of the Arabian Peninsula. We're almost having many occupying each and every area, geographical area, depending on the means they have. This one is called the Ansar. Yes, they are there to protect something, but others are called Ansari Sunnah, Ansari Sharia, Ansar, and so many. Yet others are coming in as individuals. So we are always dining with terrorists. Faith is dictated by the servants of terror, where religion is driven to the opposite direction of peace. Faith-based institutional leaders are also forced on the crossroads. They don't know whether to go right, left, or up or down. Yet religious dialogue is put in the hands of whom it may concern and whose concern. The number of terrorist groups, coupled with the speed at which armed conflicts radiate from religious organizations, is extremely faster than the FBO's dialogue. Today we have the Amigos 3, yet the speed is radiating. How far shall we move to the speed of the radiating of the terrorist groups? Leaders can only register less exertion for fear of their lives as they intervene in conflicts whose objectives will never be known, will never be clear, even to the fighting groups themselves. Some of these fighting groups do not know reasons why they continue to fight sincerely. If you ask Abubakar Sharkawi of Boko Haram, why did you start this? Does Islam fight against seeking knowledge? I don't know, the answer will be yes. If you ask the Lord's Resistance Army of Kony, LRA, the 10 Commandments he has and he's talking about, but ending up cutting off people's lips, nose, ears? Is that religion? The LRA Konyi Joseph will definitely say no. If you ask Pastor Joseph Kibwetere of Western Uganda reasons why he set 1,000 people on fire in only one single night and took their lives, is that approved by the Lord in heaven? The answer will definitely be no. Ask the Hutus, reverends in cathedrals and churches, why people were killed there. The answers will always be no. So, they do not have clear objectives as to why they are fighting. The impact they have caused is that they have created a very big crack between religion and politics. This has, in the long run, twisted into millions of people as refugees whose return to their ancestral homes is next to impossible. Communities are traumatized to speak out. Perpetrators have developed much power over their victims. Some terrorist collaborators occupy political offices, a situation that leads to a delayed justice, thus a denied justice. States are affected more. These are just a few. So many in Asia, Africa, all over the world. People are suffering, states are suffering, where at times the heart-hardened people are murdered. It's upon this background that if we put those ones where the heart-hardened people are murdered, the longest problem that is as old as the United Nations is the Palestine-Israel crisis. Palestine-Israel crisis was born in 1947. The Kashmir-India crisis, Jammu Kashmir, is as old as also the same, 1948. So it is from there that we have been accumulating. When will this end? The world's weaker communities are now organizing for arms to defend from the heavyweights. What we expect is that, much as the Intra-Faith Dialogue may not exhaust the concerns that lead to conflict resolution, we cannot underestimate the fact that the biggest percentage of the world communities profess a religion through which a number of grievances can be addressed. Give Intra-Faith Dialogue a chance. There is need to give Intra-Faith Dialogue a chance. Where we are talking about faith, we realize that Jesus Christ, despite the fact that he had so many issues that required force, remember he had to write letters. Letters were written as we read in the Bible. Paul was writing letters to apostles, to different people, the Romans. He wrote to the Colossians, he wrote to the Galatians, he wrote to the Philippians. This meant that he knew the message will spread, but indeed it was more of a requirement for a dialogue. Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, did the same. He wrote to Egypt. The king was Jurayj ibn Matta. He wrote to Romans. The king was Caesar. He wrote to Ethiopia, Ashama bin al-Ajbar. He wrote to Huda of Yemen. He wrote to Oman. Jaifar bin Inai al-Junandi was the leader there. Ask the people of Syria today. They have the letter that was written by Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him there, who was Al-Harith bin Abi Shamr, and Al-Munzir, who was in Bahrain, and Shahanisha, with areas that today are taken by Italy. However, today people express disappointments in Muslim-dominated countries, whereas Christians express disappointments in Muslim-dominated countries, and Muslims do the same in the Christian-dominated countries. Yet, absurdly, members of the same religion also take up arms to fight their fellow brothers internally with no justifiable cause other than radicalism. The Quran forbids this, and it tells us about talking good to people as we try to win their hearts. Al-Baqarah, that is chapter 2, then chapter 10, Surah Yunus. Because of terrorism, communities are fully engaged in a world war with all states versus their own citizens under the name of terror. This creates a need for an intra-faith dialogue concurrently with interfaith. As we do recommendations, the international community should walk the talk and conduct diplomatic missions through good offices to make sure that terrorist acts all over the world are managed through peaceful means. The world's weaker communities' security plans should be also put on open eyes. As weaker communities are having security plans, then the world should open up eyes, because at times they are also preparing to terrorize their own citizens. Rights of people should be guaranteed, that individuals are empowered to challenge the cases that lead to terrorism, including ethnic discrimination, religious radicalism, and cults. Regional stakeholders, including politicians, religious leaders, local and traditional leaders, need to come together and work for the betterment of their nations rather than individual interests. States need to supervise in the above situation. Finally, there is no doubt harmony and peaceful coexistence can be brought in the world if religious values are adhered to by employing interfaith to preach peace, forgiveness, reconciliation, justice, love for one another. Make war against terrorism as everyone's collective responsibility. We can be the peace that we need in the world. We should create peace in order to get peace. Thank you for participation.